What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Technical Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing day. So if this is the first time that you guys are joining us, I want to welcome you guys. You guys can feel free to browse around the YouTube channel. We have a little bit over now 75,000 members within our Technical Solutions platform. It's pretty much where you surround yourself with like-minded individuals. And if you've ever wanted to get into investing in the stock market or any form of investing whatsoever, I definitely think that we are the most accessible people out there. It is a free group. The link is down in the description, so be sure to join if you have not already. So for all those that are tuning in live, I'm going to shout you guys out real quick. Let's go ahead and yeah, just comment maybe like what it is that you guys did today or something like that, and I will let's actually just do it right now. Can I boom boom boom, come on, there we go. All right, sorry about that. There we go. I'm gonna move myself a little bit over. All right, there we go. Let's see what everyone is saying. Oh, no hat. Nope. What's going on? What's going on? All right, what's going on? Salvador, Amanda. Oh my goodness, I cannot keep up. All right, you guys have to smash the like button. So for all those that are tuning in live, feel free to give the video a thumbs up if you guys have not already. Okay, so you guys are saying that the volume is low. Turn up the volume. All right, I apologize. I'll speak a little bit quicker, or a little bit higher. So I bought a microphone, and I think that's what it is. So I'll try to speak up a little bit more. I finished the basics video today. What's going on, guys? What's going on, Charles, Kyler, Bill, Matthew? What's going on, guys? So hope that you guys all had an amazing weekend. Hopefully it was safe, and hopefully it was everything that you guys expected it to be. I'm like really nervous right now because there's someone watching me that is. But let's go ahead and get this Sunday Stock Talk kind of going. So if you guys don't know what the Sunday Stock Talk is, this is pretty much where we come together as a group. I pretty much covered the top stocks this week that I see the most value in. It's no suggestions or anything like that. It's really just me talking about how I break down stocks, what I see value in, why it is that I see value, and my whole plan. So I hope that this video can guide you guys in the right direction. And then I'm also going to cover some of the stock suggestions that you guys in the live stream want me to break down. So I hope that you guys have a fun time. This should be about a 20 to 25 minute video. So I hope that you guys are excited. So Ricky took his hat off. Yes, I did take off my hat today. So I'll put it back on if you guys are, if you guys think my hair is too crazy. So yeah, what Arturo said, you guys have to smash that like button. So let's go ahead and get right to it. I'm going to start sharing my screen. I'm using the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. So for all those that are going to be asking, I do have numerous videos. I have over 600 videos on YouTube that showcase exactly how it is that I use this platform and stuff like that. So I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller. There we go. I'm going to throw myself here to the bottom left. At least that's where it looks like it's at. And let's do this. So what are the top 3 stocks that I'm going to be looking at for this week of January, and why? One of the biggest things that, the first week of January played out perfectly, right? We almost hit the weekly goal of $2,000 profit. Week 2 of January did not play out according, the 2K weekly profit, that's the goal. It did not play exactly like planned. So with that being said, what is it that this week that I'm going to do a little bit different? So one of the things that I did last week is I was focusing too much on stocks that were potentially going to reverse, or if they were trending up, I didn't cover profits right away. I know that we had an amazing start to week number 2, and this is just me recapping. So week number 2, I was up $1,000 profit in 2 days, which was exceptional, right? With that, what was it? The JDST inverse ETF, that call out that we had, it was up nearly 18 to 20% from our initial call out. So let me give you guys an example. So this is JDST. When we called it out, it was showing signs of a reversal. It broke above the EMA, and that's great, right? I took a position at $48, and it hit highs of nearly $55. I did not cover profits where I should have. It was showing signs of a reversal, but I gave it the benefit of the doubt, and unfortunately, I was not able to cover the lock in the $1,000 profit that I had, but it was a little bit over $700, which was just fine. I learned from that mistake. Now, what is it that we're going to do this week that's going to make us that much better? One of the things that I wanted to talk about on JDST was, do you see this double bottom forming here? So it's at the same support that it was at last week at around $46.50 to $47. Does that mean anything? Does that mean that JDST 100% is going to bounce? First of all, it's never 100%, and second of all, no. That's why the confirmation for the EMA, when it comes down to being able to verify and validate that the stock or inverse ETF is actually trending up, then that's just it. So we could see that the EMA line on this previous downtrend broke above the EMA right around $49. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. When it breaks above $49, I'm going to make sure that I set my alert. So this is not one of the top stocks that I'm going to be looking at this week. This is just one of the stocks that I want to make sure that I can take advantage of when it's showing signs of a reversal, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, talking about a stock or ETF that's currently trending up. Again, focusing on what's showing signs of an uptrend. This is UGAS season. So this is a gas-based ETF, and it just broke the resistance that it previously had at $80, and it's still not showing any signs of a reversal. So what does that mean? The EMA line is pointing straight up. You can see that every indicator is showing that, it's except for the RSI. RSI is showing a little bit to be, more on the oversold side. Overbought side. So maybe waiting for a pullback for a better entry. And then once we get that confirmation that it's going to continue to bounce, might be something to look into. The reason that I like UGAS is because of this previous support and resistance, or previous margin that it offered. From its previous support, as you can see right here, a double bounce right around $80, and then it had a resistance right around $100. So do I think that you guys can complete this? Well, it's showing signs of an uptrend pattern and no signs of a reversal. We could see the MACD indicator. Again, you never want to rely solely on one indicator, but it's almost showing signs of a downtrend. So again, just note that. But the EMA line is still pointing way up. And as long as this uptrend pattern continues, then the overall potential from $80, I don't think I have the right drawing tool. There we go. Let me just make sure everything's good. Oh no, the video stopped. How are we doing now? Okay, sorry about that. Sorry that it slowed down. So the overall margin of potential profit from $80 to $100 is 25%. So just ask yourself, if this uptrend pattern continues, it has the potential for profit for return of 25%. So let's say, for example, if you're trading with $1,000 or $10,000, my average position, what I lead up to with my swing trades, are about $10,000. So with $10,000 with a 25% margin of profit, that's a $2,500 return that I can pretty much capitalize within the period of the time that it requires for you guys to be able to complete this entire margin. Now, what is the likelihood of this actually happening? There's one of two things that I'm going to be focusing on. I want to make sure that if you guys continues this uptrend, that we keep a really close eye on this EMA line. When it was reversing, did you see that the EMA line really started to point down, and that obviously showed the confirmations of the downtrend pattern? As long as the EMA line continues to point up, and even if it does experience a pullback and we can get a confirmation of a bounce and it continues that uptrend pattern, then that's exactly what it is that I'm going to be waiting for. Again, it's not about focusing on stocks that are potentially going to reverse and start trending up. It's investing in something that's actively trending up and making sure that whatever you invest in grows your money. And with that simple understanding, I feel as long as you guys continues this uptrend pattern, I do see a lot of value in it when it comes down to being able to complete this 25% margin of potential profit that it has to offer. So this is why, when it comes down to my entry, exit, and then stop loss at my max dollar value, that's something that you guys have to set up for yourself to ensure that you have a general understanding. Oh my goodness. Let's see. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, there we go. But yeah, so that's my breakdown on UES itself. So let's go ahead and go to DRN. So DRN is the only one that I'm going to cover today that is not actively trending up. But if you look at this 1 year analysis, you guys have to look at this horizontal pattern that it has to offer. Do you see the lowest point that it's hit before is 1925? Do you see that is almost exactly where it hit on Friday? So that is the lowest point. It doesn't mean that it can't go lower. It's just showing that the stock, there's no question, is definitely oversold. So looking at the RSI indicator, looking at the MACD indicator, it's all about waiting for the confirmation. And that's all I'm saying. Set your alerts either at $20, set your alerts at $20.50 because of the margin that this thing has to offer from $20.50, let's say, to the realistic resistance that it had last time at about $23. It's about 12% potential for profit. So ask yourself, what's your weekly goal? A lot of people have a 3 to 5 to 10% weekly goal. How cool would it be to not have to take, a day trade every single day or trade every single day, but to only have to take one position that's a quality position once you get the confirmation, and then it actually performs the way that you expect it to, and you hit your weekly goal. Again, it's about quality and not quantity. So if you can get there with one trade, why take multiple trades and potentially get there? And overall, when it comes down to the overall day trades or the multiple trades throughout the week, when you could have just focused in something that was just much more easy to understand, and it's oh man, I am nervous. So it keeps freezing. All right, so it looks like the live stream is experiencing a little bit of an issue, so I do apologize if it's a little glitchy. I hope that you guys can still hear me okay. But what it comes down to is it comes down to opportunity cost. So once we get the confirmation of an uptrend pattern, as long as we see that uptrend pattern and we get the confirmation that it's actually showing signs of a reversal, as long as you understand what it is that you're investing in and your potential for profit compared to your potential for loss, then that's exactly what it is that I take into consideration before taking an overall position. So let's go ahead and go down the list and see. I'm going to do this breakdown live. And let's see which one is currently actively trending up out of my active watch list. That is something that I want to invest in. And as you guys can see, that is QRVO. So QRVO was one that we called out about 2 weeks ago. It was a little iffy because it was consolidating from about $70 to about $68 and really not showing much patterns of an uptrend pattern. If you're part of our Learn Plan Profit group, you would have seen this call out when it broke above $70 because it broke its overall resistance. Do you see this previous resistance that it had right here at about $70, and it just built this margin, this consolidation? It was still trending up, but not really. But then it broke that resistance, and it's been trending up ever since then. MACD indicator is pointing up, RSI is pointing up, so it's a little bit, there might be a little bit of a pullback, but let's look at it a little bit closer. So on the 10-minute 3-day, we could see that the volume really started to pick up. During aftermarket hours, the volume was still present and it still continued to gap up. Looks like it did a double top at 71.25. I think that just puts it into consideration on how important and how easy it is to focus on good quality picks as long as you have some back-end structure. So if I were to invest in QRVO, what would be my plan? Do I think it's a good buy now, or do I want to wait for a pullback? And that's exactly what I would wait for. So the EMA line, as it's still pointing up, getting that confirmation, I don't think there's any question because of how quickly it pushed up for there to be an actual pullback. So what does that mean? So as a stock is trending up, it pulls back for either a couple of days or just a day altogether, and then bounces off that EMA line and then continues that uptrend pattern. So with that EMA line still pointing up and it's showing signs of an uptrend pattern, the margin of potential profit that QRVO has to offer from $70 to $80 is about a little bit under 15%, so about 14% potential for profit from bottom to top. That's if it plays out perfectly. Again, realistically, if you can cover 10% profit of that, that would be more than enough. And again, just ask yourself, what is it that you're investing in? Is this a pattern that you understand? Does it make sense on why this is a good buy, why this is a good sell? And if it does, great. And if it doesn't, then again, 100% don't trade it. You should never trade something that you don't understand. So let me see what the group has to say. The force is not with you tonight. I know, I'm nervous. The live stream is, not performing exactly the way that we want it to. So Eric is asking, where did I get that shirt? So I don't know. I got it for Christmas. It says Vans. So Peter Winkle is saying that I love you. Oh, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Alrighty. Caesar, you're horrible. Alright, let's go ahead and... Yep, so Sammy is saying that UCLA is better than ASU. I agree with you. There's no question about that. Let's go ahead and start breaking down a couple of the stocks that the group brings out. So I asked for the people that are part of Learn Plan Profit, which is like my private mentorship group, that if you guys want to call anything out, I'll go ahead and break them down. And we have a call out format. So what that means is everyone has to put their ticker symbol, support and resistance, desired entry point, sell point, stop loss, and why it has potential, and the overall reason, why they see value in that stock. So GME, let's go ahead and break that down real quick. So with GME, GME had a huge pullback. There's no signs of an uptrend pattern. I do see why this could be a potential good buy by being able to buy the dip, and if it performs with a couple and handle pattern. The thing that I personally don't like about this one is that it's showing signs of a descending pattern. This is GameStop, so I did hear some bad news about this. And you can definitely tell that there's definitely a descending pattern with this, and it does have pretty rapid sell-offs. Usually has these sell-offs, as you can tell, during its earnings season. So there's no question that GameStop, again, a franchise or a corporation that solely has to do with the reselling or the selling of games, has the online market has definitely dominated with in that market within the past couple of years. So obviously the revenue isn't necessarily going to be there. And do I think GameStop is going to be the best buy? No, not necessarily. I do see why it is that you see value in it. It's just not something that I personally think is worth the risk based on its overall pattern. So BGCP. Okay, so we've broken this one down before. I like it. Okay, so it's showing signs of an uptrend pattern. A lot of consolidation. I really like this one. And we were already looking at this one before. I would set my alerts here at $15. And the reason that I like this one is because of that consolidation that it has. It's a really horizontal pattern. So as long as we get a break above 15, it should be above the EMA at that time. So from $15 to about $16 offers about a 7% margin. Not bad, and it does have its earnings call coming in pretty soon. So that's going to be February 7th. So just take that into consideration, but not a bad call. And if it starts actively trending up, it looks like it performs pretty well with the EMA line when it's actively trending up. So just keep an eye on the direction of the EMA, set your alerts on when it crosses above the 180-day EMA, and set up your plan on where you plan to enter, exit, stop loss, and why does that you see value. So you already did that. So alrighty. So, okay, same thing with FIT. So FIT was actually performing very well the previous quarter. And yeah, let's see. EMA line is still pointing way down. It looks like its overall support was around $6. I would set my alert here. So once we get a break above $6, that would give me a confirmation that this thing is starting to trend up. Resistance at $7. This margin of potential profit should be a little bit over 10%. Yeah, about a little bit over 15%. So not bad. And let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So KODK, that's actually a very popular one that was brought to my attention this week. And yeah, that is why. So it was a stock that was continuously trending down. I have not looked into it or anything that it has to offer. Just had this huge rush of volume. And it's been trending down since then. So that's not necessarily something that I really like. It might be a pump and dump. Went from $3 to $13.28. Let's go ahead and look at the news if anything came out. Okay, so something that has to do with a blockchain rally. Anything correlated to cryptocurrency or something like that can act as a direct catalyst on a huge price increase like this. So overall, probably based on that, knowing that there's a bunch of hype, and you can see day after day after the hype, the volume has really died out. So with there being less volume day after day, there's going to be less demand, and that just shows or validates that descending pattern. So MDCA. All right, there we go. Okay, I like this one as well. It looks like I already have my alert set here when it breaks above 980. So it's still showing signs of a downward pattern. I would wait for the confirmation and the break above the 180-day EMA. Looks like its overall resistance should be at around $11. So from about 980 to about $11, it offers about 13% margin for profit. So I think that's a good one to keep your eyes out for, but it's not actively trending up. Let's get some from the people on YouTube. So let's see what you guys want me to break down. So oh my goodness, you guys are horrible. Yeah, so the stock market is closed tomorrow. That is correct. Let's take a look at that one. MARK. So MARK is actively trending up on the 180-day chart right now. It looks like it is having a little bit of a sell-off, which is actually where I tend to see when something is actively trending up and it has a sell-off, that's where I see the most value to buy in. So again, I like buying the dips, especially for something that is actively trading up, for the best entry, especially if you're going to try to hold it a little bit more long term. So if you like the pattern that MARK has to offer, if you see a lot of potential for profit and more growth, then that's something that you can look into and become a little bit more familiar with. Or you can wait for the sell-off and then the break above the 180-day EMA and then try to sell for a profit as well. But I definitely do think that with this pattern, if this pattern continues, then where it's at right now, I would wait for it to break above the 180-day EMA, and I would feel much more comfortable with an entry in that perspective. Oh man, you guys are throwing it with those tickers. There we go. OVAS. I like that. Okay, so OVAS looks like it had a little bit of a sell-off. With that sell-off, it looks like it has a lot of consolidation happening from around 130 to highs of about 150. Has hit lows of about $1 and it's starting to trend back up. I would like to look a little bit more into on why it had this sell-off, to make sure that it's not because it's going to go through a reverse stock split, or to make sure that it's not going to get delisted. Maybe if it's just a sell-off due to some bad news. Again, bad news can become irrelevant, and then it can come back to where it normally consolidates at. So that's something that I would look into. It's definitely looking like it was oversold and it picked up pretty quickly. So if it could continue this cup and handle pattern, then I think that could be something to look into. Let's look at this 1 year analysis. It looks like it is showing signs of a descending pattern, and these sell-offs are pretty common. So just take a look at that. It does look like it still has potential for recovery. So I think this is a good call. Just make sure that your potential for profit outweighs the potential for loss. There was one, so GBTC. So the video that I uploaded yesterday for Vin Ferretti, which is our crypto group leader, he made a video on why he thought GBTC, for those that are investing in the stock market, might want to look into GBTC. I'm going to give you guys my own opinion on what I think about GBTC and what it has to offer. And this is my honest opinion, and I just want to make sure. A couple people were asking me in the comment section that I should do my my own DD on it based or after Vin talked about it. So the thing about this one is, if you look at the patterns that GBTC has to offer and the overall pattern that of Bitcoin, right, which is the biggest cryptocurrency, it's very it's a direct correlation to however Bitcoin performs, GBTC will reflect that. And if you're someone that wants to actively invest in Bitcoin, but doesn't actually want to transfer their funds from your broker to Coinbase or whatever wallet you use to invest in those cryptocurrencies, then this could be something that you might want to look into. In my honest opinion, looking at this 180-day analysis, when it comes down to overall analysis on GBTC, I think it would be much more relevant to do a breakdown on Bitcoin and how it's performing. And being able to look at it right now, it's still trending below the 180-day EMA. So I would set my alerts when it breaks above 2,000. And by doing that, I can be alerted that, hey, this thing is going to start actively trending up, or at least we broke above the EMA, which shows signs of an uptrend pattern. And if I could see that Bitcoin continues to rally and then it breaks 15K, 16K, 17K, and then nearly 20K, then obviously GBTC is going to, offer the same type of kind of like price correlation and stuff like that. So make sure you do your own due diligence when it comes down to investing in GBTC or in any stock altogether. Please don't invest based on other people's opinion. Please understand how important it is to have a form of risk management. And when it comes down to investing altogether, please understand the risk involved. So I'm gonna close it out here. All right, guys, so PRTC, okay. So that's a pretty good question. So Frankie Ortiz is asking, Ricky, what do you think the lowest amount of money one should start investing in to make decent profit? In my honest opinion, so when it comes down to how much money do you have to start investing, I think the number is 0. I always suggest for people to start simulation trading or to start paper trading. So with that being said, I just want to make sure that people understand the mechanics of trading first before investing real money, because I know that was my biggest mistake when I first started. So once you can really start making consistent profits on either your simulation trading account, I think to make decent profits, anywhere from $2,000 to about $3,000, if you can in my experience, $2,000 to about $3,000 was more than enough to make a decent profit. Depending on what it is that your dollar return or your goal for your dollar return is, then that might be something that you might want to look into. Jake, you guys are making fun of me because I always say "with that being said," so that is hilarious. What's going on? What's going on? What is a good simulation program? So that's a really good question. I've made a video about it, and that's through TD Ameritrade. It's a free, paper, as long as you're within the United States, it's a free software or program that you could use for simulation trading. I think they give you like 2 months access. And then one of the things that a lot of people don't know is that once you do want to open your own brokerage account with TD Ameritrade, first of all, it's free. You can open one right now if you're within the United States, and you can get access to everything it is that you just saw on my screen. You don't have to fund it. But if you do want to start trading and you don't want to start paying any commissions, there is a promo code. It's 220, so 220. And you'll get 500 free trades for the first 3 months. And I think that's great. As long as you have at least $3,000 in the account, you don't actually have to put any real or use the entire $3,000. You just have to have it in the brokerage. So that might be something to look into. I know. So I have like some friends over, and then my roommates were over as well, and they're all connected to our Wi-Fi and stuff like that, so I really do apologize for the low quality stream. So I don't know if it's pixelated or anything like that, so I do apologize for the inconvenience. So the code is 220. Okay, so I'm going to end it here, guys. And again, the top 3 stocks that I saw the most value in, or that I see the most value in, for those that are kind of just tuning in right now and don't want to watch the entire video, that's totally okay. So the top 3 stocks that are actively trending up that I see the most value in, first of all, the top 2 that are actively trending up is UGAS, and then the other one was IQRVO. Those both are actively trending up, and I do see a lot of value in that. So with that, understanding that, yeah, those are the top 2 that I see the most value in that are actively trending up. One of the ones that I'm really keeping a close eye on, that I have my alerts set, is because it is so oversold. That is DRN. So DRN is still showing a lot of signs of a downward pattern, but it's showing signs of consolidation at around $19. So as long as that uptrend, as long as that reversal happens, then that's when I would want to invest in it. And the margins of profit that DRN has to offer is pretty nice. So. Oh my goodness, you guys are so funny. Is it dangerous to put big money in small stocks? Yes, because you could fluctuate the price. Boom, boom, boom. So Randall Gonzalez is saying, with that being said, haha, don't fight it. I don't know if you caught that, but maybe a minute ago, I almost said it and then I caught myself. So thank you guys again so much for tuning in. I know this Sunday Stock Talk was a little bit different. I do apologize. There's a little bit more rush and stuff like that, but I hope that at least with my breakdown and how it is that I went through the stocks can kind of guide some of you guys in the right direction. And I hope that you guys are pumped for next week. But most importantly, again, I think when it comes down to getting to your weekly goal, the best way to get there is to have a plan. So for each and every single one of you that is working towards, being able to make a transition from, the stock market being somewhat of a hobby to a full-fledged, actual source of income, then make sure that you have that structure. Make sure that you're disciplined. Make sure that you're setting up a schedule for yourself on when you're scanning for these stocks, breaking them down, and, actually taking action and taking advantage of those set opportunities. I do offer my Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library. For those that are interested, it's the first link down in the description, and you guys can simply just check it out and learn a little bit more about me and my private group. So it's a full A to Z structured video lesson library where I teach people how to invest in the stock market that you have access to forever. And then I also include a private group, and this is probably the most valuable part. every single day at market open, we go live for a Q&A chat over voice, and I speak to each and every single one of you, and I cover the top stocks that I see value in, as well as I answer all their questions. So if you would like to work with me on a daily basis and would like access to my weekly watch list and how it is that I find these top stocks, I actually teach you and work with you on how to find them, so I don't tell anyone where to buy or where to sell. If you really want to work towards being able to make this transition, I would love to be a part of your success. So again, click that first link down below, learn a little bit more about what it is that I do, and I'd love to work with you if you guys see value in that. So am I paying taxes on my earnings? Of course, you have to pay taxes on everything it is that you make. So Maui, okay, so for those that aren't subscribed already, this is just a little incentive. If you guys are into cars and stuff like that, so we buy and resell cars. I have a 2015 Nissan GTR Alpha 7 and a BMW M3. I am thinking of picking up a new supercar, and I think it's going to be this week or next week. So for all those that that like supercars and stuff like that, I think that might be something that you guys might want to tune in for. So I don't know. I feel like super awkward right now. I do apologize that if this stream was not exactly what you guys expected, but I hope that you guys all have an amazing week. We will be live tomorrow like we are every single day at market open, and that will be 15 minutes before the market opens. So I hope that you guys all have an amazing Sunday. Hope that your weekend played out exactly like planned. And like always, guys, continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives in your success. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Hey Google, play. We have to end it on a good song, right? All right, guys, hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. Take it easy.